Hey everyone. So this is an unlisted live, which is why you're watching this on the replay, but you didn't get a notification or there won't be a live stream chat or whatever. So I watched a little while ago, I watched Bambi's Rambles video, and no shade thrown to Bambi. I've always enjoyed her. I still enjoy her. There's no animosity here, but I do want to address just a few things because I think maybe just, I don't know. I don't quite think that the correct information or whatever or has been portrayed, or really, I think maybe some assumptions are being made. And I'm not saying that those assumptions are on Bambi's part. I don't know on whose part, but I think that they're on a lot of people's parts, actually. So I wanted to just clear that all up quick. So I'm just going to use her stream to clear up much of this information and to answer a few, I don't know, issues or things or whatever. So let me go ahead and pull up her stream. I lost her channel. There we go. Okay. So again, this is Bambi's Rambles. And the name of the video is Llama Girl lately lost her channels and a new war has begun. Rambling Rampage. And this is from April 23rd, 2023. But it's from like maybe 1 to 2 hours ago. It's 9:14 p.m. my time. So I don't know. It was uploaded evening Eastern time. So it's only 15 minutes long. So this isn't going to be long.
Hi, and welcome to my very awkward intro. My name is Susan/Bambi, and this is Bambi's Rambles. How are we, friends? Are we good? That's good. And if you're not okay, that's okay too. Before we get into today's video, I just want to ask, I never asked at the start of the video, so I'm just going to ask now. Subscribe, stay for the jokes, my friends. I am a funny person. Anyway, in today's video, we are leaving the gym. And it is 7:40 something a.m. So I'm looking a mess or whatever. But I just wanted to get on here and say that everybody is okay. We're talking about Molly Golightly and the fact that Molly Golightly has lost her channel. Okay, I don't have to go into too much detail here because the people that I'm directing this to are the people that have been following the whole situation. Molly got her channels terminated. Before that, the same dude's fundraiser was removed. There's a whole situation there. People are saying it's from Unirock and people being on Twitter and then adding at Team YouTube, and then a mass reporting occurred and Molly lost her channel. And we have creators out here. We got creators.
First of all, no one is saying that that's directly or that's the sole reason why. But yes, we do believe that had a hand in this. And as this goes on, we'll tell you why that is and why that should be an issue.
Out here just like losing it, like you're next. The fear mongering is happening.
It's not fear mongering if they already have a list of the channels who are next. That's not fear mongering. Like, I get it that maybe Bambi doesn't know this, or maybe she's unaware of this, whatever. But no, they straight up have a list. They sat there in chat going back and forth making a list of who was next. And on that list, they have Justin. They have Laura, Perplex QT. They have a Bullhorn Betty. They have Dolly. They have Veda. I know my name's been mentioned, but I'm not sure if I quite made the list or whatever. I don't really care. So yeah, and there's others, but I want to say something about a bomb. I don't know. I don't know all of these channels, but yeah. So there's a list
happening that, if this person loses their channel, you're next. Well, let me tell you something. I feel like, again, I'm in an alternate goddamn universe because play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Like, I just feel like it's been 1 minute, 55 seconds. I can leave the video here. Like, okay. Just say there was this big conspiracy theory vendetta against Molly Golightly. And there was 75,000 people that decided, you know what? She hasn't broken any TOS. She hasn't done anything questionable when it comes to the terms and services, aka the rules, aka whatever you want to call it, whatever jargon you want to use. Like, it's that simple. She fucked up. People reported it. She broke terms of service a number of times. YouTube wants you to use Twitter to get it to their attention.
Okay, that's not what happened though. I I agree with you. If that was how, that's how it happens a lot of times. And I fully agree with you. That's how it should happen. See, here's the thing though, first of all, that I think people are just failing to realize. And I'm reminded of something where it was some remark or whatever someone had made once about like cops doing like illegal searches or whatever. And trust me, I'm getting to a point here. Just give me 1 second. And someone had made the comment like, well, if you have nothing to hide, then what's the big deal? Well, they would be right. They would be correct. However, you make the mistake of knowing what it is they're looking for. You don't know. And they can turn it into anything they want. Now, when it comes to what I mean by that is when it comes to YouTube's terms of service, go ahead and read them. Like I just read them on a stream not long ago, and they're quite vague. Like, sure, some things are specific enough anyways, but they leave room for vagueness. And I think that they do that on purpose so that they can do things by a case by case situation. So they have liberty to not be restricted by their own rules, and they can make decisions outside of what their own rules might have been if they feel like it's the best thing for or for the platform. And that could mean like legal reasons, or even just appeasing the users on the platform even. So that's what I mean by when it comes to terms of service, people make the mistake of knowing exactly what it is YouTube's looking for and thinking that YouTube is going to just follow this rigid guidelines or whatever. No, they leave it open on purpose so that they're able to take some liberties to a certain extent. Okay. And that remains in this situation. Now, I don't know if Molly like legitimately failed on the platform and therefore deserved to be kicked off. I don't know. All I know is up until that point, she hadn't been kicked off. Then this huge mass report campaign gets started on Twitter. This very public campaign that made a spectacle of itself to attract the attention of anyone and everyone that it could. And then, like, within a day, her channels are taken down. That's what I know. That is what I do know. So that was my whole point. And my earbuds are about to die. I can hear them beeping. Let me put... One second. I only have one in that one. Why is that one not registering? That's weird. So I give him one, and he starts doing his thing. Lovely. Yay. They fucking hate this shit. I swear to God. Let's see if these work. Last time I tried these, they didn't want to work. Connected to what? What the fuck did you connect to? No, but now we know what Robert screams at pickles. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit that. Okay, there we go. I think Sash Evo. Yay, these finally work again on my laptop, on my iMac. Awesome. Okay, so back to the video.
Are we seriously doing this? Like, it's not as though this woman is just being terrorized and targeted for no reason. Like, I actually, as many of my subscribers may know, I made a Molly Go Lightly video. I did a semi-deep dive. I mean, I'm not...
Again, no one is saying that this was done without reason. I fully understand that there are reasons why people dislike her or take issue with her or want to report her. I get that, okay? No one says that this is without reason. My whole thing, though, is that these reasons that people are using to do this mass coordinated campaign are things that they themselves have done. And they're now using this to throw shit at someone that they dislike. And any which way you look at it, these channels who have been behind this, they greatly dislike Molly. It isn't because they once saw something that upset them. They have been coming for her for a long time. They have taken issue with her. Like people want to give the anti Katie J Joy community, whatever, a lot of shit because maybe we focus too much attention on her or some shit like that. This was like the anti KJs on steroids, okay, and that's the issue. Like they were reporting things that weren't even against terms of service, but they kept bringing it up and tagging YouTube because they didn't want her on the platform. They were making that decision for everyone. And then when they were, I'll keep talking as we go. Otherwise, I'll never get through it.
Talking that I got everything because a lot of things were deleted. And there is a multitude of people in communities that do cover Molly anyway and everything that she does. So, like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Tell me this. People say that, mass reporting is going to cause, like, it's this. They have this. All right, I understand they have this. I'm really trying to see everyone's side here, but I'm just finding it so fucking difficult. They have this.
The problem with mass reporting is when you have a channel the size of Molly's. There was like 91,000 subscribers at the time she was taken down, and that was her main channel. Her other channel had I don't remember, like over 20,000. I want to say I might be wrong. Definitely in between like 15 and 30K, anyways, I believe. So. That's the problem. When you start mass reporting a channel like that. Now, this isn't also some huge channel that everyone's on YouTube's gonna throw a shit like PewDiePie or something if you get him taken down. Okay. This is an influential enough channel to where if they don't adhere to those reporting and tagging them, then they could be looking at, I don't know, more bullshit down the road from people complaining and mass reporting and everything else, because like people weren't just reporting things that she had just recently done. Like they were still reporting Team YouTube for like the St. Jude fundraiser. Like she's either has or is about to mention here. They had already been taken down, but people were still reporting that to Team YouTube as though they were a reportable offense, but they had been addressed and handled. You know what I mean? So, and then people are pulling up links of deleted videos. Now, I heard another creator say, well, in these videos, she doxed this person, she doxed that person. No, that's not what happened here. No, maybe she did. I'm not questioning that. I haven't even looked at that. But that's not what happened here. Because the stream that I watched on Queen Bee's channel was Unirock. Or it seemed, I got the impression it was Unirock. Maybe it was somebody else doing it for him and he was commentating. But anyway, someone, as Unirock was talking, was showing Molly Golightly's playboard, and she had deleted these videos going back months and months and months, and like she deleted a lot, like most of her content. And Unirock was just saying, go to Playboard, get these links, and go report them. There was nothing specific in any of these that he was referencing that anyone was discussing, so they weren't reporting anything specific. They were just reporting shit that was deleted to try to report something because they figure, well, if Molly took it down, then surely there must have been something in there that was reportable, right? So let's go report that. That's the problem. They're abusing this feature because they can't fucking stand this person. And I'm not defending her. I don't know. Maybe she should be taken down. I don't know. That's not the point. The point is the means in which this group of people went, the means they took, and the lengths that they went to, and the spectacle they created to come at her, and for how long here. That's the problem.
Problem that there was a mass reporting situation going. Everyone came together to do it together, and it was. Some are saying it's pointing towards what happened to Molly Golightly's mother and the death of her mother and the grieving stages, and that's why everyone was just piling onto that. Okay.
Here's the thing. I don't think anyone piled onto this to try to like hurt Molly even more. I don't think anyone was too upset about that, but I don't think that was the purpose. I think that they saw an opening, an opportunity. They saw that Molly was going to be distracted and possibly not even around because, she had to attend to mother's, affairs and whatnot and funeral and stuff. It's no coincidence that her channel came down the day of her mother's funeral. Now, I don't think that people were intending that to happen on that day. I just think people took advantage of what was predicted to be a distracted or an absent Molly, and then they went in for it. That's what I think.
It might not have been a perfect time to do it, but what about when these families were grieving and Molly is screaming at the front of someone's house, your baby's dead? Like, do you know?
First of all, and I've said this over and over again, I personally agree with that. I don't agree with Molly doing that. I agree with your disagreement, I should say. I don't agree with Molly doing that. Sure, I agree that she has a right to protest, but I don't agree with anyone choosing that to be something to protest about, or which to work through whatever emotions you're having about it, because that's not going to do any good. In fact, that's vigilant. It's vigilantism, and I'm staunchly opposed to that. This is why this here upsets me so much, because this is social media vigilantism, basically. Okay. Now, but to furthermore, now that I've stated how I personally feel about that, I want to point out, if it's wrong when Molly did it, then it's fucking wrong for other people to do it. One person doing the behavior doesn't justify someone else doing the same behavior if the original behavior is wrong. And that goes for everyone, because this is an excuse everyone likes to use. Oh, well, what about when Molly did this? What about when Molly did that? No, Molly was fucking wrong for it then too. Okay. And especially if you think she was wrong for it, then surely you must realize that you were wrong for it now. If you're using this as an excuse to do whatever the fuck you want, then you don't take issue with the behavior that Molly was doing. You don't. You just take issue with Molly.
You know what I mean? Like, So if you're going to jump on a bandwagon and stick up for someone because you're like, who's next? I might be next. Play games, play stupid games.
No one's sticking up for anyone. And this isn't a bandwagon. Okay? This is protecting the freedom of expression, the freedom to say and do things online, even if it's wrong. I mean, how else do people learn a lesson? I mean, you're not leaving any room for Molly to learn from this behavior. Now, you can sit here and say, well, she'll never learn or whatever. Maybe you're right. I don't know. But I do know they're trying to erase her off the internet, and make no mistake, that is what many of these people in this group are trying to do, because they're not content with just YouTube. I do know that trying to erase her from the internet is not going to give her any chance or opportunity to learn and grow or to change, because like channels like Nonsense, they're all about the behavior, seeing change behavior. Well, how the fuck are you going to do that if you can't see their behavior, period?
Games, win stupid prizes. Break TOS, you lose your channel. And I don't understand why everyone would want these people, even though the money is not coming out of your pocket. I get it. And I used to say the same thing. Use your social media currency wisely. That Radiant Bridge said, yeah, the money don't come out your pocket. No, it doesn't. And I've always thought that, and I always say that. But do we really want to give money to somebody who is catching flights from Hershey's out to fucking Florida to go yell at the laundries with a laundry basket?
So then don't give her money if that's how you feel. Don't subscribe. Don't become a member. Don't send her super chats or whatever. Don't join her Patreon. Don't fucking give her money. Don't give her the AdSense. Whatever. I fully agree with that. That is our own individual YouTube currency here, is whether or not we help build up someone's channel, their notoriety, their size, their AdSense, their supers, their memberships, whatever. If we ignore the channel, then we give them nothing, and we don't set them up for getting anything. We're not furthering them along in any way. The buck stops with us. They have to find other avenues with other people, with other viewers or potential viewers. Okay. But that's the thing though. Just because you deemed it not worthy of your contribution to AdSense or your, I don't know, your own money, doesn't mean that someone else is going to feel the same. Someone else may deem them to be worthy of it and may enjoy their channel and may want to watch their channel. Who are you to decide that for that other person? You decide it for yourself. That's it. You just decide it for yourself. Okay. And I've said this a couple times now. I've compared this to kind of like 80s cable. Okay. And you look quite young. I'm not quite sure if you're going to know what I'm talking about, but hopefully you do. Here, at least, and you're also, I think, in the UK. In the States here, though, in the 80s and part of the 90s, we had like your free cable, which was like your 5 channels or 13 channels, whatever it was. And then you had your basic cable package, which was like a certain number of channels. Then you had like maybe your premium cable package that had like all the channels, but none of the like HBOs or Cinemax or whatever. Then you paid for whatever ones of that you wanted. Then on top of that, we had, thank you. Then on top of that, we had adult entertainment channels. If if a household or a person felt so inclined to subscribe to that, to be able to view that content, then they did. Well, YouTube, I look at it like this. I will go through, I will look at channels. Some of them I already know. I have a list of the channels I want to have in my catalog or whatever to choose from, my library. And I like them. And I go and I turn to them and I watch them. Maybe I'll find a new one I like and I'll add them. If I find one I don't like, then I don't add them. I don't subscribe to them. Okay. And if they're not breaking any actual laws, like actual hardcore laws or whatever, or they're not doing some really fucked up shit that clearly violates TOS, then I let them live. I don't do anything. I just don't watch. I stay away from them. If I see some shit that absolutely violates TOS or whatever I feel, then I do. I report them. And I urge everyone else to report any shit that they see and they feel the same way about. Hell, I don't tell people, though, about shit I report. Like, I report shit probably more often than people think, but I've never told anyone because I don't need to drum up this army of hate against someone who I saw do something one time that I found to be egregious. You know what I mean? I just did my part. I'm only responsible for myself. The only power and control I have is just for me, my actions, and my viewing pleasure. That's it. I don't take the liberty of choosing or making these decisions for other people on the platform. That's the problem when people start making those liberties.
And if you say, I have proof of this, go check out the videos, go do the research. Don't sit on Twitter and say this person at Team YouTube. That's what YouTube tells you to do. Like, I don't understand.
If people want to make claims about things, I'm not going to go out and try to find the proof of their claims. I'm just not. And like I've said before, or I said in the comment section here to this video of hers, I'm not going to go back and argue or talk about shit that Molly or any channel for that matter, shit that they've done a year or two ago. Hell, even Katie, for the most part, I don't talk about any of the shit she did in like 2018, 2019. And I'm getting to the point where even most of 2020 is out the window. Okay. Maybe some shit in 2021, but yeah, sure. 2022, I think is still up in the air because I feel like right or wrong, once a certain amount of time passes and nothing comes about this from this perceived wrong I have, then it's time to let it drop because nobody else felt the same way I did about it. Maybe I'm just working off of my own emotions, my own perception, which is fine that I did, but I can't expect other people to take on my emotions and my perceptions either. Obviously, other people didn't quite find the same issue with something that I found. Okay, moving on to the next one. That's it. This is why I'm not going to sit here and argue or discuss shit that any other channel has done a long time ago. And for all I know, how do you know that things weren't learned? I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and argue that, especially in this situation, because I'm not here to defend anyone. This isn't defending anyone. It isn't. It's not my decision to make of whether or not someone is deemed worthy of social media. It's not. So I'm not going to be argued into making that decision.
Understand. All right, so go to the next thing, right? Where Vida Jane. Is that her name? Jane? Vida? Darth Vader. I don't know. Anyway, Vida's over here talking.
Veda Jade, but honestly, I don't even know if I pronounce it correctly. I'll be honest.
I love Burnt Toast, and I've been watching Burnt Toast for a long time. And it's so funny when she's pointing out these things that Burnt Toast is doing to take Molly down.
No.
Because May 18th, 2022 was a whole bunch of tweets at YouTube from a number of people.
I don't know what you're talking about, May 18th, 2022. Because I myself have only gone back to, as soon as it hits 2022, I stopped looking and stopped counting it. But and no one's saying that Burnt Toast had taken Molly down. No one said that. I do believe that the huge coordinated campaign and drive on Twitter had a hand in it. Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying that they're solely responsible, but I do think that they played a pretty big hand.
Because Burnt Toast was being wrongfully doxxed. So another family who was also a creator, people had this idea that, okay, this is her family. No, you doxed the wrong family. So they moved on to this creator and his family saying that they were actually husband and wife and his kids were her kids. like, and dox the whole thing. And EKC, love you,
What?
girl, but doxing is not an issue to you.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about there with this one creator information, this family, this, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't really care either, because you said, what, 2022? I don't even know what what's the relevance. But you want to say EKC doxing is not an issue to you? Never did I say that. Please show me where the fuck I said that. Where did I say that? Where? When? Where? When? That's not what I said. What I said was, if you're going to be a content creator on a platform, a public, being a public entity or whatever figure on a platform where you're talking shit about other public figures and even making claims about public figures, then your identity, I think you don't have your right to privacy for anonymity drastically wanes, because if the shit you're saying is without proof, is without fact, and is malicious or is defamatory, well, then someone needs to take accountability. And it's kind of hard to do if nobody knows who the fuck you are. So I think if you are a public figure on a very public platform, making very public claims against another public person on the public platform or wherever, then yeah, your right to privacy regarding your name, I think, lessens drastically. Now, this just goes for the name, for your identity, not for where you live or where you work or who your kids are or your phone number or your husband or any shit like that. No, of course not. Who needs to know that shit? It's bullshit. But a name, just who you are, who is saying these things, what human on this planet is making these egregious claims without any proof against this person? Yeah, I think that your right to privacy over your name, your identity, decreases greatly. That is my own personal opinion. You can disagree with me. We can agree to disagree. That's fine. I don't really care. This is where I stand. And I've been dealing with the whole concept of anonymity on social media probably back since 2015. So I've gone back and forth on this issue probably a couple of times to various degrees. But this is where I've landed. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm saying that this was not some conclusion I came to flippantly in any way. There's been a lot of thought and a lot of experience behind it. You can disagree. That's fine. I don't care. But it is what it is.
It might not be illegal, but it's fucking dangerous. Here's the thing, regardless of whether, okay, if someone puts my full name on YouTube, right, my full last name, my full name, everything, okay, they put that on YouTube, not a crime, pretty fucking low thing to do. But yeah, what if this person who has just put my...
Sure, it can be a pretty fucking low thing to do. When I say that people have your right to privacy, or to your right to keeping shit private, or you keeping your anonymity, I'm not talking about putting this shit on blast. I'm just talking about it becoming known. Like maybe other creators find it and then they just know it. I mean, that's fine. Or they share it privately or whatever. It's a name. It's just a fucking name. Okay. And you want to talk about danger. If you're so concerned of people coming at you in real life, then why the fuck are you doing everything you can in your power to make yourself a target on social media? Now, this doesn't go for viewers making comments or whatever. Everyone has a right to do that behind whatever wall of privacy they want. I don't give a shit. This only pertains to people who have public platforms, such as content creators, influencers. That's it. That's all I'm talking about. Okay? That's it.
Put my information out is forgetting the fact that where do all the Looney Tunes and Fruit Loops of the world flock? YouTube. And I'm one of them.
That furthers my point. If you already know that all the Looney Tunes and shit flock here to YouTube, then you becoming a public figure talking all kinds of mad shit, not you personally, just you generally, then you becoming a public figure on YouTube talking all kinds of mad shit and making all kinds of egregious claims against another public figure on the platform. Okay? If you're so worried about danger, then why the fuck are you doing that in front of the very people you think are capable of coming for you? You don't have a right to privacy. You don't have a right to anonymity at that point. I'm sorry. In my opinion, you don't. If you're going to make these claims and you're going to do it without proof and you're going to you're going to call people like, sorry, if you're going to call people like frauds and thieves and grifters and accuse them of crimes and everything, then yeah. And this goes for Molly too, although she never really tried to hide her name, but this goes for anyone. If you're going to make these egregious claims against people without any proof, then your name, who you are, who it is making the claims, I think becomes, I don't know, information that can be obtainable. But that's just a name, nonetheless. And again, if you deem this platform to be that dangerous, then why would you even be on here trying to piss off all the people you deem are a threat?
And you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that in a mean way, but there are people out there that are absolutely fruitcake and will take your information and do something scary with that. Like, do you understand that we have to make a stance if it's doxing a subscriber and nothing happens and whatever else? We have.
That's a subscriber. That is something entirely different. I don't think any subscriber should have any kind of information about them released or put out there or whatever. No, absolutely not. Because they're a viewer. They're the reason why anyone who has a channel is able to even have a channel. And anyone who makes any kind of income is able to make any kind of income. Every subscriber, every viewer for that matter on the platform is why all of us have the abilities, the opportunities that we have. So hell no, they should never be subjected to that shit. Never.
We have to make a stance on that so it doesn't happen to a larger creator, and then we end up having. You don't understand. I'm not talking to you. But you get what I'm saying?
Dude, Siri does that shit to me all the time. Like all the time. Like mine's a British dude, but he is so fucking rude. Like it pisses me off. Like just butt out, man. No one's talking to you. Like why are you butting in? Fucking Siri.
Like so when they at Team YouTube beta Jane, I don't even want to be like, it's not that I want to be nasty or mean or I kind of Burnt Toast did a great stream last night, go watch that. But Evada Jane got this fucking doomsday list, Santa's naughty list.
What?
I don't know. And there's like 20 creators on there that are next to get their channel taken down.
What are you talking about?
How do you know? Like, how do you know that?
We know that because that's what they've been saying in their chats, in their live stream chats, on their panels. That's how we know that. That is how. Providing you're talking about the list I think you're talking about. I can't tell, honestly, I can't tell if you're talking about the list Veda made or the list that someone else made. I'm referring to I'm just referring to that there's a list that's of the next targets. We know the list of the next targets because they've been saying their names in their live stream chats on panels. They've been planning this.
And when Burnt Toast went to Veda to ask her, like, what's the deal? What's going on, my friend? Let's chat. Do you like peanut butter and jelly on your toast, or do you like Vegemite? Like, she was just trying to have a chat, and it turned into fuck off, fuck you.
Does anyone really like Vegemite? Like, do they really? I never had it, so I don't know. But I mean, I imagine that. What is Vegemite? Is that the one that's in Australia or New Zealand? I always get them confused. But whatever country it's from, I imagine that there's people in that country that like Vegemite. Sure. I think it's Australia. Fuck, what's the one that's in New Zealand? I can't remember. It's the fruity one though, I think. Anyways, I get that there's people in Australia who like it, sure. But like, does anyone outside of Australia really like it? I don't know. I should try it. I want to try it, I think.
You get the fuck away from me. And that's as far as it went. And I just don't understand why we are riding this train. Like, I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. You do the wrong thing, you lose your channel. Stop with this fear mongering.
See, you make the mistake of thinking that you know what the wrong things are. You don't. Okay. The wrong things are whatever your viewers deem are the wrong things. It's not what you think are the wrong things. Let's be okay. Okay. So, and that's what's happened in a lot of cases. And yeah, to even some degree, that's what happened in Molly's cases. I'm sure that some of the things that she was reported for were legit reports. Sure. But not everything. In fact, there was an alarming number of things that I saw that she was being like tagged for, or YouTube was being tagged for on Twitter regarding Molly, that were not at all against terms of service. And since then, since her channel's been deleted, people are still tagging Team YouTube, and they're using excuses like they're swearing like a sailor. They're saying mean things about another creator. Like, these are reasons that people are now tagging Team YouTube. Tell me again where this fear mongering of mine is coming from. Seriously, tell me again. Because sure, YouTube's not going to take down a channel because they get a couple of tags like that. But if they get an abnormal amount of tags because of shit like that, then they will. They will, and the channel's big enough, or the channel's growing enough, or is influential enough. Yeah, they're more likely to cave. And I think people know that, because YouTube, I think, takes the kind of position of, not that the customer is always right, but there's like so many YouTube channels being started. I forget what the figure was. It's like 2,000 every 6 hours or some shit like that, right? Or less than that, or less hours than that. 2,000 new channels created within hours, every set of hours. I think YouTube kind of takes the position where, if we're going to get bugged enough times about a channel, especially one that's like a smaller channel, then we're just going to nix it. And that way we don't have to pay them the AdSense and they can just start over. I kind of think that YouTube might be on that side, really, because there's a hell of a lot more viewers than there are creators, and creators will just make another channel and viewers will just watch another channel. So, yeah.
Shit that everyone's gonna lose their channel next. If I do some dumb shit on my channel and they take my channel, that's because I did dumb shit on my channel. It's that simple. It's that simple. And Molly's still on Patreon or whatever else. But Veda. It seems as though you might be new to YouTube, and that's okay. That's all right. We all make mistakes when we first come on. We all kind of simp or stick up for the wrong part.
Let me ask you this, because I don't think I'm quite new to YouTube, but I'm definitely not a novice. Don't get me wrong. So has this group mentality of targeting a channel, running them off the platform, has this been an acceptable practice among YouTube channels, like throughout YouTube's history? Because when I first started my channel, it was a totally different mindset on this platform than it is now. It was definitely like more or less creators against the Karens and lolcows, rather than creators becoming the Karens and lolcows. And I'm not calling you one, don't get me wrong, I'm not. But many of the channels who participated in this, yes, I am calling them these terms. So I'm just curious though, like, how has it been on the platform?
Party. I've done it myself. I think a number of us have. So it's okay to think and feel a certain way. I just hope that when it comes to the internet, you might get a little bit more.
And I'm sitting here thinking that the term simp, it's really starting to annoy me. Okay, like when I think of simp, I think of someone like Unirock, okay, who simps for Katie Joy. But what I mean by that is, regardless of all the proof in the world that there is about something, whatever the issue is, that Katie Joy did in fact say or do, or whatever these things, Unirock will argue out of that, and will argue against it unsuccessfully most of the time, but he doesn't care. He just keeps going like an oblivious pigeon on a chessboard, strutting around thinking it won and shitting all over the board. Okay. And he does this to what seemingly for a fee, because over the years, like Katie's husband, for example, but Katie herself though too, have been in Unirock's chat numerous times, dropping him all sizes of PayPals. And that's just what they do in public. So who knows what gets done privately. But I also know that there are, in fact, many creators who work as kind of shills or so for whatever issue of the day or whatever product or whatever. Like QAnon, that's how much of their bullshit spread was through these shills. So interesting enough, where Unirock has many ties too, but that's for another day. So this is what I mean by simp. When I say simp, this is what, in my opinion, a simp is. It's someone like Unirock who's doing these things in the face of all this adversity for a fee. Anyone else, though, I've seen, even people who are like staunch supporters of Katie Joyce, I don't consider them simps. I consider them maybe stupid or misled or whatever, misinformed, whatever the case may be, because most of them do end up eventually in the subreddit at some point. But like any channel's staunch supporters, I don't consider them simps. So I really take offense to this term simp when it's being used against anyone else, except for someone who's very likely in a pay to play kind of situation, I guess. I don't know. That's just my own 2 cents.
Knowledgeable, I guess, because the things that you're claiming, it doesn't work that way. Like, you're not sure, like, and even saying that in your private Facebook group is where you're going to show the evidence. But then you got someone in there claiming to be burnt toast.
I'm pretty sure her group's not private. I want to check this though, just to be sure, but I'm pretty sure her group is not a private one. Oh, Jade's Palace. No, it is private. Okay. It didn't used to be, or I don't think it used to be. I know she has some group that's not private. Maybe it was this one, but now it's private. I don't know, but my bad, my mistake.
When it's not burnt toast, and you don't even let burnt toast like conversate with you about that. It's just bananas. It's bananas. And I feel.
Wait, what?
Like I have toast, and you're going to show the evidence. Not sure, like, and even saying that in your private Facebook group is where you're going to show the evidence. But then you got someone in there claiming to be.
No, that's not where she shows the evidence. She shows the evidence in her videos. Excuse me, or in her live streams. She then puts the evidence afterwards up in her private Facebook group, kind of like maybe a storage place or whatever, to keep a log or a record of things. That's pretty much what she does. She doesn't only share it in her Facebook group, though.
Burnt toast when it's not burnt toast, and you don't even let burnt toast like conversate with you about that. It's just bananas. It's bananas. And I feel like I have rambled enough about this, because it is just that it's.
You may have a point there. I do think that if you are going to make claims about someone, that you should be willing or open to some form of dialogue in some sort of manner. Like, you can set rules and guidelines or stipulations or whatever if you must. I think each side is entitled to whatever it is they want to demand or ask for. Sure. But I do think that if you're going to make the claims and shit, you should be at least open to that, even if on your terms. So you may have a point there. I don't know if she has been. I don't know exactly what she's turned down or what she's accepted or what her answers have been. But without even knowing, I'm just going to say that I do agree with that.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And then if okay, before I go, when people say, well, everyone could have reported themselves. Well, maybe they did. But if this person is doing a lot of questionable, fucked up things, why wouldn't you want
that right there? That phrase, questionable, fucked up things. It's very vague. And not every questionable, fucked up thing is a TOS violation. So this is where I take issue, because this is the shit. This is how people want to describe and explain a lot of Molly and a lot of what she's done. She's done some really questionable shit. She's done some dangerous shit, but nobody gives examples or specifics. Okay. And that's where I take issue, because they're using this hyperbole to convince others that they too need to mass report this person. That's where I take issue, because that can be said about anyone, because we don't know what it means, let alone if it's true or not. How can we know if something's true if we don't even know what exactly it is they mean? So people can say this shit about any channel and just push it along. And then 9 out of 10 times, it will start to build momentum at some point. The momentum may fade, sure, but sometimes it doesn't. That's my whole point, though, and to further add to that, sure, if you yourself see something and report it, sure, report it. If your report doesn't yield the results you think it should, then you can take the extra step and you can contact YouTube in a chat. You can DM them on Twitter or whatever. You can just reach out to YouTube. You can report it again, okay, if you feel you must. But at some point you're going to have to, I think, just accept the fact that maybe what you think should be removed or is a violation may not be what the platform sees as a violation. Oh my God, I'm sorry, the dog is barking. Stop her from barking. It's so loud. Is she done? I think she might be done. Okay. So, I mean, and again, I want to just point out that if people want to get their attention, get YouTube's attention on Twitter, there's ways to do it. You can reach out to them privately or whatever, or you can just. But when you do it very publicly and you add a clip and you go about this whole very inflammatory statements or tweets against this person, you're doing it to make a spectacle of it. You're doing it to win over the audience, to convince other people to report her, people who haven't even seen her shit and maybe never would. We don't know. But because they've seen your shit, you're trying to sway their mind to do what you think needs to be done. That is a public targeted campaign, any which way you look at it. I don't know why people are so offended by claiming it, that that's what they've done. Like, why are you so offended by this? It's so strange to me. Not
to bring that.
When I mean you, I don't mean you. I just mean you, meaning the people who participated in this. I should clear. Most of the time I've said you in this, my response here, I'm not even talking to you or about you, Bambi. I'm talking about either the you in general or the people who were involved in this.
That to the attention of YouTube. And when you say it's not for, when EKC and a few others say that it's not just Molly, it's a bigger picture. We all know that YouTube has issues. People have lost monetization for no reason, and updates come and things happen. I get that. I'm a creator. I understand that.
That's my whole point. So when you start a mass campaign on Twitter against someone, then you're more or less exploiting these bugs that you've just listed, or you're trying to anyway.
But I don't understand whether it was everyone mass reporting at the same time or whether it happened individually as we each saw it. Do you not think that YouTube would not buckle under the pressure of like YouTube doesn't do that, because we would have so many more different creators be cancelled? Like, do you understand? It's not a cancel culture thing. Like, and I think that's incredibly. I think it's.
All right, let me put it to you this way. Okay, say there's a group of people who don't like someone at work. This person has never stolen a thing from work, but they don't like this person. So they're hyping up these complaints about this person, saying, just drawing attention to the fact that maybe they stole something, okay? And then these keep coming in, and then Human Resources really feels like they have no choice but to just put a stop to the reports, or just appease the masses here, okay? Maybe the person loses the job, maybe they get put out on suspension or whatever, okay? But they're going to start caving in to these mass reports, okay, of these claims of theft. And now if say they do lose their job, or they get suspended or whatever, if your answer to that is, well, they did steal once before in their lives, if they hadn't stole before in their lives, or last week or 2 weeks ago from this other location or whatever, well, then they wouldn't have been put on suspension. If they weren't guilty of the crime somehow, somewhere, sometime, then they wouldn't have lost their channel. Okay, it doesn't excuse and it doesn't validate this unsincere group mass push to target this employee. Okay, that's my whole point anyways. That is my entire point. And if you're going to sit here and use things that Molly has done years ago, then that's kind of like saying to Human Resources, I knew, this person once 3 years ago, like long before they worked here, long before like they were, it's irrelevance today. They once did this horrible thing somewhere. It's at some point in time, the grievance kind of loses weight if you wait this long to want some sort of change to come from it, or some effect to come from it. Because if it didn't piss you off enough then to make the spectacle, then why is it pissing you off now to make the spectacle? especially when all these people involved claim that there's this array of things that Molly has done recently that is reason enough. So then why are we pulling from way back there? You know what I mean? That's my whole point, is they are exploiting this out of pure hate. And don't for 1 second think that your channel is safe or my channel is safe or any channel is safe, okay? Because they're not. They're just not. By all means, report shit as you see it and as you take issue or offense to it. Sure. Fuck yeah. I mean, Christ, God knows I do, okay? But when you try to rile up an army to take on your cause or to take on your hurt or your anger, I don't know, man. I just feel like that's not what the whole report feature was for. And that's acting like you're taking it upon yourself to be the judge, jury, and executioner of people on social media, on creators, on influencers. And it's also a form of vigilantism, any which way you look at it, because you're trying to bypass, exploit, or circumvent the actual systems in place. So if you disagree with Molly protesting for someone's arrest outside of someone's house, which I also disagree with that. I agree with her right to protest, but I disagree with that being a protest. So if you also disagree with that, then you should disagree with this too, because this is kind of like protesting outside of YouTube's and all of Twitter's, everyone on Twitter's fucking front lawn. People who don't even probably normally wouldn't care. It's exploitative. It is. Anyways.
I think it is a straw man argument. And I'm sorry, I hate that fucking thing. But regardless of whether it happened by 75 people or 7 people on 4 different days, it doesn't matter. This woman she has doxed, she has harassed, she has made money off victims of crime. She has
that right there.
Victims of crime.
Every monetized channel in the true crime community has made money off of victims of crime by talking about the crime, talking about the victims, talking about the investigation and all of that. And they have every right to. I fully support that. I'm not shooting it down or anything. But for you to then use this, she's made money off of victims of crime for anyone, for that to be your argument against anyone. Well, I don't know. That just seems kind of convenient, because there's a lot of fucking channels that do that. Hell, there's okay, one of my favorite channels on YouTube, Mr. Ballin, okay? He probably makes serious fucking bank on his channel, and he's talking about victims of crime. He's talking about crimes that happen. He's talking about people's like really shit luck or tragic experiences or becoming missing, whatever. That same argument can be made there, but that's a stupid fucking argument, right? So why is it not stupid here? Because you don't like Molly. That's why. That's the problem. When you sit here and you excuse or you don't even acknowledge the same shit everywhere around you, but you are calling it out like crazy at this one place in front of you. I don't know. And then you try to excuse it away as saying, well, if calling it out and that person wasn't right, I don't know what to say. That's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Houses. She's been responsible for misinformation going out there. Like, there are so many different things here that this woman.
Every fucking channel on YouTube, I'm going to say this right now, every channel that exists on YouTube has been responsible for misinformation at some point, probably quite often even. Every channel. So you need to be more specific with this misinformation. Simply saying that she's responsible for misinformation does not quite cut it. Okay?
Woman has done. And I really don't think that if we want to take a stance on something, that this is the stance we take. Like, I don't know.
The stance should absolutely be on protecting everyone's channels and right to exist here. You can support people who wish to report or don't want to watch a channel or don't agree with it or don't like it. Sure, they have every right to feel that way. And sure, don't argue with them on it. Accept it. Okay, I get you. Do you see what I'm saying here?
I don't know. I stand with the parents and families who watch true crime on YouTube and see their names thrown out and people telling them what bad mums they are and X, Y, and Z and knowing all these things. Like, if you're going to have an opinion, go back and look at it all. Don't cherry pick. Don't cherry pick.
So you think Molly deserves this because she was talking about the parents of a child that met tragic circumstances, and she called them a bad parent. Because there's a lot of fucking channels that have done that. There's a lot. I'm just saying.
Don't cherry pick. And I get that this is probably because
this is cherry picking,
involved in some capacity. Why this is somewhere where EKC is looking at, I don't know, because it's a Katie Joy community thing and a anti.
No, this really isn't a Katie Joy community thing. This is so far outside the community now. It stemmed from there, sure, because Katie Joy is the one who sicked Unirock on Molly. Like, this has already been proven and established, and I'll be more than happy to show you exactly how. And from Katie's own mouth, that's what happened. Okay, so sure, that's where it stemmed, but we are so far removed from that at this point. Like, I feel like I haven't even fucking paid attention to Katie. And maybe I want to say that possibly maybe that's the whole point of this. I don't know. But whatever. I don't really fucking care either way because I'm nobody's puppet. I'm going to talk about the things I want to talk about. But this isn't a Katie Joy thing anymore anyways. Maybe when it first started. But it hasn't been in quite some time.
Molly go lightly thing. I don't fucking know. I just feel like if you do the wrong thing, this is what happens. Regardless of how we got there. Do you know what I mean? It's like talking to my kids. Like, if all three of you stole a cookie, like, all three of you are going to be in trouble for stealing the damn cookie. Whereas if my son stole a cookie...
Okay. Using your kids here as an example, you said you have 3 kids. This will be like all 3 of your kids stealing a cookie. But then 2 of your kids pointing to and calling out for your attention to tell you about the 3rd one who stole a cookie, and then you punish the 3rd one for stealing a cookie, and then the other 2 are saying, well, it's their own damn fault. If they never stole the cookie, then they would have gotten punished. You see what I'm saying? Oh, and the whole purpose of doing that is because that your 3rd child there, the one who got blamed for stealing the cookie, they did something the day before to piss off the other 2, and that's why they did the whole thing to begin with. That's a more accurate comparison, I think.
Yeah, my daughter didn't. Why would I yell at my daughter? Like, she's not going to get punished and have a cook.
Sorry, I didn't mean to leave your daughter out of that. I didn't listen long enough to realize you had a daughter. Sorry.
She's not going to lose her channel because she did the wrong thing. Like, it's that simple. I know I sound really condescending and rude in this video. I do not mean it. Yeah, things are going on, but I'll be fine. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.
I like your haircut, by the way. I just want to say. I mean, I haven't seen you like on screen in a while, but I remember what you looked like before and everything. Like last time I seen you, and your hair definitely wasn't that short. But I really like your haircut.
So like, subscribe, send a pigeon, keep the same energy. I'm going to take my sweaty ass home. Mwah. Bye.
Okay, so yeah, there we have it. That's that. I'm done. I think I've said enough, and I'm not going to keep you any longer. I probably rambled on long enough here. So, where am I? Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, you know what I should do? Wait, not yet. You know, I haven't done a member shout out in a while. Why don't I do that real quick? Because I kind of feel like an asshole for not having done it and so on. So, let me pull up my members list real quick, and I'm going to read them off as quickly as I can. Bear with me because I think some of my members are signing up with really difficult names on purpose. Probably not. But, members, see all members. Okay, so member shout out. And wait, what? I have 150 members? Oh, that's right. Yeah, because someone got gifted 50 memberships today. That's right. Holy shit. Oh, my God. Okay. So I'd like to thank That Amber Chick, Woody Wood, Pearls Kate, Just Chat, Jenny Mac, Hush Puppy, Hot Wheels Sue, Running Grey Wolf, Cricket, Love Louie, Jennifer Smith, Annette, Moon Bear at 77, Rhonda Smith, Lizzie Stardust, Princess Jax, Soulshine, Star Delight, Mama of Three, Terrorist Chihuahua. It's like Unirock's arch nemesis. Grouchy Mama Bear, Navajo Blondie, Teresa, Mirandy Lupus SL. I don't know what, I can't read the rest of that. It's not showing me the rest of that. April Penrod, Chris 10K, Nurse Linny, Tam SH-X, Jess, Jessa 2.0, Al Capone's number one. Well, okay. GA Mom. It doesn't show me the full name, so I'm not going to read. I'm not going to guess. I think I know what your full name is, but if I get it wrong, I don't want to get it wrong. So, GA Mom, Georgia Mom, I'm guessing. Ashtara, Evie, Carrie Taylor, Hillbilly Vagabond, Lissy, Red Dragon 59, Allie R, Sunshine and Rain, Sammy Lou and Miss, LN23, Penelope's Lane, Yellow Nana's Not Drunk, Just Me Heather, Robin Becker, Fiercey Cannon, CLI something, Tara, Hermit Sea Frog, The Crazy Lady, Jalasia Marcus, Angels Among Us 95, channel has been deleted, Darlene Harvey, Justin Farrell, oh hi Justin, Jamie K, Stacy Drouillard, Vet Mama, Delicious, Supernatural Crime with Nikki, I believe is what that channel name is, Brighter Day Jen, Better with the Irish, T. King, Laura Nelson, Marion Ann Bays, Jody P., Gigster Pom Pom 79, Kathy Ann, Tiffany Hoff, Pit Mom, K Bear's Mama, Margot, Mama's the Boss, Very Light. You know what? This might be easier if I wear my glasses. Marie Laveau, Straysky, Rizzo's Wife, Vicky, Megan Broussard, Faith, Feel the Love Nano, Slick Fits, Holly B, Firefly 451, Sheila Marie, Great Dane Mom 2015, Steve McRae, Juju B, Miranda, Redo, King Yukon, Feeling Kind of Breezy, Meow Now, Alexandra G, Terry Lynn, Mo, Vidrana V, Green Thumbnail, Tina P, and Cheap Glass. There we go. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you everyone for watching. Now I am going to sign off. Bye.